Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today I am on Yggdrasil again, my tree of magic and love, and my special tree. But today is a bit of a different video, because I was planning on originally doing a different video. I was meant to be doing like my thought process, but I couldn't really think of a good way to take it. It was just like how I think, and then I couldn't really explain it, so I just gave up with that. I then thought I would do a counting video. It's kind of a silly video. It was going to be like a series that I've watched on TikTok, where he's like gaming counting edition, like 5, the number of times that I have to tell my teammates that they're one shot. 4, the number of teammates on my squad, or like wheelchair edition, 0, the number of legs I have. I did want to do that video, and I was going to do that video, and I still will do that video. I just need to plan it a bit more, because I want to do it as a funny thing. I just couldn't think of enough, and I'm a big kid, and wanted to at least get to 69, so I could just go, nice. So, because I'm not doing any of those videos, I thought it would probably be best to do something else, a little bit more constructive, you know? Well, not really constructive, more helpful, I guess. And that is why I'm going to be talking to you guys about different tips and tricks for transporting yourself around in a wheelchair. Now, obviously, this is going to be using public transport, buses, trains, transferring into cars and things. I'm not going to be giving any demonstrations, because that would mean that I'd have to find a plane, a train, and a car to transfer into, which just isn't very easy. So I'm just going to be talking about like experiences that I've had. So starting this off is the bus. The bus is the absolute easiest thing to do, to be honest. At least out of the things that we're going to be covering in this. Like, if you can't get out of your chair, I'm going to assume that you guys can't, or even if you can get out of your chair, you don't really need to. So, basically, you just wait at a bus stop. As long as you know how the bus systems work, which I didn't, then you can kind of just get away with not doing that much. You just have to wait at the bus stop, wait for your bus to come along. When they pull up, they'll probably drop the bus down, so it's basically just in parallel to the curb, and then you just roll on. You may need to give yourself a little bit of a flick over. I've done a video on that on the back wheel balance video. So you may need to do that, grab onto the handles and pull yourself up, but it shouldn't be that much of a challenge. And then basically when you're on the bus, you can either pull up next to a seat and then get out of your chair and sit on one of the seats, or do what I did, which is go in the disabled spot, and you'd like, for the bus that I went on, turned to the right, and put my back up against it. It has a set of instructions on there which you follow. Like, you don't need to do anything special for it, really. Car, I think, is the next one. Now, obviously, it depends on if you're driving, or you're a passenger, or if you've got someone to help you. There's a bunch of different ways that people find easier than others. For me, I usually just get out and my dad puts it in the car. However, I can put it in the car, I get out, wait for the plane to fuck off. We're not covering planes just yet. What I would do if I had my own car is go to the back of the car, open the boot up, get out the chair. Depends on how big the boot is, take off the wheels or just throw the chair in. I can usually sit on the boot, pick it up, and put it in next to me, so I'm like on the edge of the boot leaning on it. I find it's easiest. However, you can just kind of like get out your chair and walk to the side of your chair and lift it up and move it into the boot. However, again, as I said, it just kind of depends on the car. And then I usually hold on to each door handle until I get around to whatever part of the car I'm sitting in. Or if you have to, you can do whatever way you transfer onto a seat. I might do a video of that soon. You know, either transfer onto this or do a seat at home. I think I might have done that video already, in fairness. However, yeah, so you transfer onto your seat and then you take off the wheels. and you put them on the passenger seat. Obviously, this is assuming there's no one with you, because otherwise they can just put it in the car. So yeah, put them in the passenger seat, and then lift the chair up over you and onto the passenger seat. Some cars have a removable steering wheel. I personally don't want that on my car, because can you imagine if you're just like driving along and then your steering wheel comes off? You're going to be in a bit of trouble. I know they are a lot more secure than that, and there's a certain thing you need to do, like a button or whatever. I just don't like the idea of that, to be honest. So yeah, that's kind of like a couple of ways to get into a car with a plane, because you have to transfer, you go through all the airport stuff, and then you'll be given a special chair, or not very special, they load your chair up on the plane, and then you get out of the chair that they provide you and sit in your seat, just transferring over, and then they'll take your chair away or whatever. I don't really know how that works. And then trains, it's complicated. I personally have had a couple of bad experiences with trains in the underground, mainly with the train station, because you have to work out disabled accessible routes, because I'm just going to use the underground as an example in London, but it is a pain in the ass, because you've got like certain stations, right, all on the same track. Bearing in mind you're going to have to be changing trains every now and then. You have to like try and find a disabled accessible way around it. Where they've got lifts and they've got all of the necessary things. But as for just getting on a train, it isn't that hard. But planning a route that is accessible is quite difficult, I find. Again, just using London, I know a lot of intercontinental trains will have a lot of disabled access, or will have different arrangements. But yeah, I ended up going in like this long, confusing ass journey around a different train station in London the first time that I went, because I was just going for like a day out in London, and it wasn't very good. But I did end up learning quite a few skills, and if you are able to carry a chair, it isn't that bad if you go with someone else. Like, if you do go on a train, I recommend taking someone with you, because then you can do what I did, which is either stand on the escalators, which are the stair-like lifts, the ones that I'm on about. And basically, you sit on that or stand on it, holding on to the handrails, and you have someone either place it on the stairs, because otherwise you'll tip out, or if you are skilled enough, you can do it where you stay in a back wheel balance the entire way down. You just got to be very careful when you do it. But as I said, it's dependent on your skill. And again, we've done the plane bits. Why is a plane going over? So yeah, with trains, it definitely just depends on your skill in your chair. But it's mainly just the train station that will have the issues, because unlike airports that I've been to, they're not that hard. Again, I've only been to a couple, so I can't really speak that much about general. But with the train stations that I have used, definitely take some time before your trip to plan your routes. Very important. Or just have someone with you and know your abilities. So that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed it. That's going to be it. As I said, there's a couple of videos coming that I was going to do. I just wasn't creative enough to do them at the moment. I've also got the song. I've made zero progress on that. I'm going to do that when I get home. I really should. It's been a while. It's been way too long, and I feel bad about not doing it. Squirrels? I didn't realise there were squirrels. There isn't a bird. Probably a bird. Makes more sense if it's a bird. And another fucking plane. Squirrel? A squirrel. So yeah, that's going to be the end of the video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe, all of that usual stuff. and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and bye.